Welcome to Look and See Outdoors. It has been a few weeks since I've posted a video. I had issues with my camera and I was just unable to get videos made. I had attempted back when we had some snow here to do a super shelter, and I was going to do a video on that. And I've left it up so I can, when I finally got things fixed, worked out, and I just wanted to come down. I'm going to tear this down. But this was my shelter. And I'm going to hopefully take some of the footage from that week we had snow. We had 3 to 5 inches, and we were out pretty much the whole week due to snow and ice. But I came down here that night, and I'm hoping in the video I'll be able to show I had a fire. And I was able to get this shelter up to 80 degrees. And I stayed in it. I did have me a sleeping bag and stuff to sleep on. I didn't want to make it too miserable. But it was an enjoyable thing. So I'm going to try to get that video put together and post it. We'll see how that works out. Welcome to Look and See Outdoors. I am in Narnia. We are getting some snow here. All right, hopefully I can get this footage in. I'm having difficulty with my camera. Came down here and I built me what is called a super shelter. Made out of plastic, and you use some reflective material. And I got my fire going. The process there, you want the fire as long as the shelter is. Man, I got the shelter. This is the very first time I've ever built a shelter. I've only seen this shelter in books and on videos. And the 3 tools that I used to make this shelter, I used a folding saw. I did use bank line. I used my machete. And I used my little club that I made. This is something that I could make with the machete and that saw. I made it a while back, but if I had to make a new one, this can be done fairly quick. I challenged myself here today, or I say this evening. As you can tell, it is snowing. We have got quite a bit of snow. My kids came down and got into the shelter, and they said it was warm. The reflective stuff I got, I picked it up at a local hardware store, and I'm not sure if it's going to reflect, if I've got it angled too low or what. I'm learning here. So I'm going to take this thermometer that I've got and I'm going to set it in here and see what it'll get up to, because it's in the 20s here and there's a lot of snow falling. It's a lot of snow for Alabama, especially southeast Alabama. We'll talk more about this in a minute. My battery's shot in this camera and it just keeps cutting off. Ooh, this is definitely going to be an interesting video. I'm inside the shelter and I've got another camera. As I said earlier, we're having issues. I'm grateful that my children are helping me out. It is definitely warmer than what it is outside. Got a little bit of headspace in here, but it's all like that, you know. Key is not getting too close to that fire and then melting all this material.
What did we bring up?
One thing that the kids brought up was the mat that I've got in there. That's good for insulation from the ground. Keeps that conduction heat from sapping your body heat out into the ground. She also mentioned a sleeping bag. If you have a sleeping bag, you're definitely going to be much better off. Or a wool blanket. I didn't bring those down. I was trying to keep everything to a minimum. And like I said, this is the very first time, because it's been, how many years? 7 years since we've had any snow like this? Yeah. We're actually, our school has closed down. roads are closed. We've got 3 to 4 inches of snow in the past few hours when it started earlier this afternoon. And it's supposed to continue through the night. So this is definitely a rare winter storm for us here. We'll get a dusting every now and then, some sleet, some ice, and that's not that often either. So this snow that we've gotten it's a treat. And with that, I wanted to do this shelter because every environment that I've seen, or let me say, when they've made these shelters, the environment was extremely cold and with snow. So I wanted to give my hand at it, and so far so good. All right, I finally just tore that little shelter down. I wanted to try to make sure I got some footage to get a decent beginning and ending for that video. This plastic, that's just like a painter's tarp. I think it was $3 or $4. And I used maple there from that red maple tree. And the tools that I used bank line that I picked up at Walmart. I used a little folding saw, machete, and then just a little wood mallet that I had made. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I think one time, even in part of the video that I was able to make while I was in the snow, and the darkness was encroaching, I kind of almost felt a little panicky, like I wasn't gonna get it done, wasn't gonna survive. But I did. I got it finished, and I got in there and stayed the night and stayed comfortable. So I don't know if I'll ever have that chance again here. That we hadn't had snow in 7, 8 years. Prior to that, this is the last time we had any significant amount of snow. I like using the bank line, and you can reuse it. Just a matter of getting it and, you know, putting it back. I try to keep all, because this stuff, it'll last indefinitely if you keep it, you know, out of the weather from a long time. Of course, it don't have the same, I guess, tensile strength like 550 cord, but it's cheaper, and it does, man, I'm gonna tell you what, it cinches down on itself and it holds tight, and it'll last a long time. You can get more of it for a lot less than what you do with the parachute cord and whatnot. So I'll store this somewhere, because that's completely reusable stuff. Completely reusable. Alright guys, well I hope y'all enjoy the video. It's going to be interesting to see what I can get put together. Springtime's coming. It's into February. The snow was in January. But like I said, I just had a lot of technical difficulty going on. My camera got to where it would just cut off, and I could not keep it running. But now we're into February, and little hints of spring's popping up. I'm already seeing the little Samara, I think that's what they're called. The little seed parts of the red maples, they're blooming. And that's just a telltale sign that change is on the way. Alright guys, appreciate everyone for following along. The airplane's buzzing around. I guess that might be picking up here in this video. But let me do this. I haven't done this in a while. Share this beautiful bluebird sky. Look at that. Up through that canopy. Alright everyone, y'all go and hit that like button. If you're not following along, please be a subscriber and leave a comment. Just say hello or tell me about your experience. Share your experience with a shelter. If you want to, just drop it right down there in the comments. Alright guys, y'all take it easy. See ya.